NBC's Antonia Hylton is live from Black Mountain, North Carolina, and NBC's Steve Kornacki standing by at the big board. Antonia, both VP nominee Tim Walz as well as former President Clinton are there in North Carolina today. But of course, with the aftermath of Helene, I'm wondering how is that impacting both campaigning and how people are able to vote?
Well, Anna, the major question in a lot of people's minds here is one of turnout. How does the storm and the continued crises related to the recovery impact people's ability to actually make it to voting locations like this one? I'm in Black Mountain, this location where voters have started to line up actually dealt with some damage from the storm. The county had to make repairs here, and at one other site, they've had to open another brand new location for voters to have access during the early voting period. And it's important because this is a state that loves early voting. Actually, in 2020, 65% of North Carolina voters utilized that early in-person period to exercise their vote. And, you know, this is also a state where this is going to be a very tight race. And sometimes races in North Carolina are won or they are lost by just a couple hundred votes. So if you have communities in the mountains that simply can't make it through roads that are still severely impacted, or people who've just lost everything, their jobs, their homes, their cars, and right now this is no longer their priority, it's very hard to go door knocking into those neighborhoods and then to ask people going through all of that, hey, you know, do me a favor, make sure you and all your friends also make it to the polls. It is not their number one priority. In fact, we spent time yesterday with some young men here who have been on the front lines of the recovery effort in this county, and they told us, you know, in a way, this entire storm has kind of recontextualized the way they view the federal government and made them care less about who actually occupies the Oval Office. On the flip side of that, we have met some Democratic voters who have been more inspired, who are very concerned about climate change, and who say they are more excited to vote than they were previously. So the question is going to be, where do the chips fall in these coming weeks, Anna?
Antonia Hylton, thanks for bringing us that update. Great to see people out and giving themselves their democratic right to vote and making sure they take action. Appreciate it. So, Steve, we saw a little glimpse of this new Quinnipiac poll out there. It's very tight in North Carolina. Break it down for us.
Yeah, and it was tight last time. And typically, you know, Democrats haven't won North Carolina much, only once really in decades here. But typically it is pretty close in North Carolina. This is what it looked like last time. Donald Trump, a little bit more than a point, his margin over Biden here. This is the only one of the 7 core battleground states, North Carolina, that Trump won in 2020. All of the others Biden won. So this is the place, the swing state where Democrats are on offense, Republicans are on defense here. And just take a look here. This is how it played out again in 2020. A couple things here. You know, Antonia talking about Western North Carolina, the mountains where there's all the terrible fallout from the storm, and certainly questions about what kind of impact that could have on the election. Talking about sort of this region of the state, the Asheville, sort of the big blue county around there, a lot of red areas sort of outside of that. But just in terms of what we're looking at, you know, what we will be looking at in North Carolina on election night, I think one of the stories to keep in mind is this. Think of the 2 big, giant metro areas in the state, right? One around Charlotte, one around Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill, that area. What's different in North Carolina than some of the other swing states, like Georgia comes to mind, is that when you get outside of the immediate sort of city and metropolitan area, it gets red very fast. In a lot of other places, you've seen, you know, the suburban areas, the metropolitan areas get much more blue. That's not happened as much in North Carolina. And if Democrats are going to actually overtake Trump and take North Carolina, I'll give you an example. Like here, core, big, giant blue county, Wake County, where Raleigh is. You know, look at that. More than 500,000 votes coming out of there, 27-point Joe Biden victory. Now, just go next door to Johnston County. This is a growing suburban county here. But you see, Trump still was able to win this thing by 24 points, get a big margin out of there. Now, the key, though, is that was down from 2016. This suburban county was 30 points Republican, down to 24. There's a number of counties on the map that are kind of like this. And I think if the Democrats are actually going to overtake Trump, those are the kinds of places we're going to be looking around Raleigh and Charlotte on election night.
Okay, lots to watch. Thank you, Steve Kornacki. Yeah.